the cloud, and we're up and we're running. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to our new club, still provisional. We'll have a little update on that here shortly. And the first thing I wanted to do is welcome a person who hasn't been here with us yet today, as Dave. Dave, how do you say your last name? Oh, you're on mute, sir. You're on mute, Dave.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. The K is silent, so it's Knipe.
Okay. Dave Knipe. Dave's here courtesy of John inviting him, and I would imagine some of the others. He's from Owen Sound, I understand.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a number of decent motorcycle riders out of that area that I've had the pleasure of riding with. And Dave has, those who were on board here a little bit ago know that Dave's not yet currently a Rotarian, but taking very serious interest in our little club here. So, welcome, Dave. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have we're working on some of the mapping materials, but we have people from coast to coast in both Canada and United States participating in this club.
It's international.
And a lot of the details today will be about our chartering of the club. So with that, let's see. Y'all saw the itinerary that I put out the agenda I put out for tonight. The first thing I wanted to give you an update on is our charter progress. We put in the charter application on last Friday, okay? It had to go in last Friday in order to charter officially at the start of July. Rotary International is dealing with everything from the convention and end of year stuff. The Rotary year runs from July 1st through the following June 30th. And so it's quite busy at Rotary International, but I am assured that we will be chartered, and the official date is July 2nd as the charter comes down. The reason for July 2nd, and we'll get into that a little bit more maybe if we need to, I forget where I've got it laid down, but generally, if we charter, it's something I forgot about starting clubs. It was what we'd done before. Rotary International is a really cool thing for clubs and for new clubs. And the staffer at Rotary International pointed it out to me that if we delay chartering one day, on their end, they do not drop anybody on the RI rolls. So we have a continuity of members. However, we will only be charged $15 per charter member and not the full RI dues until January 1st for the full RI dues thing. So it gives us the time to build up our dues funds, so we have the funds in place to pay our dues, and gives a little benefit for it, which is fascinating. It's just kind of a cool thing. It sounds like a loophole, but they're very purposely. My understanding, talking with another past district governor in our district that I've helped start clubs with before, is our district seems to follow suit, but there's no formal procedure in our district. So we will find out as it goes what expenses we have as we go forward. But right now, it looks like our expenses are only going to be $15 a person for this first 6 months that we're open. So as far as dues go, we have our other expenses and stuff in place. There was an issue in our name. The name, as they see it, everybody has to have a name and they have to have a physical boundary location. So our name is officially the Rotary Club of Motorcycling Rotarians, Michigan, District 6380. However, I stumbled across the manual procedure stuff that covers that today, and at the Council of Legislation 2016, they made it so that Rotary clubs that run essentially online can have their location be anywhere and everywhere in the world. And so after we get chartered, not going to rock any boats before that, but after we get chartered, we're going to sort this back out. So I'm excited about falling onto that.
Jerry, question? Let me interject here.
Yeah.
If you're talking about transferring the club to another district, that becomes a bit of a challenge because
we won't do that.
Do that with a club adjacent to ours, and it's kind of like an act of Congress thing.
Yeah. No, we won't do that, but changing out that location was an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to offer is see if during the convention we can have a ceremonial chartering.
Well,
President presenting you or whoever's there on stage in front of a gazillion Rotarians.
well, you're not going to pull that off right now, but I do intend to pull this off. Chris isn't able to be on board right now. Talked to Linda about this. So we got some more structural things to get through here, but I'd like to propose that we have a charter night somewhere towards the end of summer that we actually celebrate our club. We pick 2 or 3, maybe even 4 locations around the 2 countries, whatever, that if people chose to, they could go for the weekend to get together and gather and socialize, and that we have a formal event and we get Chris to line up the international president, since he's in his zone, to get online with us via Zoom and be our keynoter for our charter celebration. And I think we can pull that off. So that's a little segue from that. But no, the issue isn't, John, isn't the district number at all. It's the issue is dealing with the location, and we'll straighten that out. And those of you that are currently on the regular members, the 22 regular members that will be chartering in the club at Rotary International, those of us that are current members in a club have to resign our membership effective, well, it says no later. She told me it had to be no later than July 1st, but if you resign it on June 30th, there's going to be no gap in your membership with Rotary. If you're still on the books as of midnight July 1st for your current club, then Rotary International, when the dues process goes out, the way it automatically works, your current club will be charged a dues for you, and they won't be able to adjust it. And so it's important for you that are regular members right now of a Rotary club and are on our 22-member charter list, that you get to your local club and let them know that you're that they need to drop you from the books. And like I said, I'm doing mine effective June 30th. One thing to note, we are doing the associate member thing. That's a thing within our club and our club alone. It's not something that's out there for Rotary International. Now, I'm asking my club to consider doing the same thing, my current club, and I will associate with my current club if they wish to do that. That's up to them to do that if they wish to. There's nothing in place, and if you want to have me make any discussion or share any information or thoughts about that with your club, your current club, I'd be glad to do that. But there's nothing in place that has that associate membership for any of the other clubs in the world, just us. Okay. Next thing, associate members. We did not, associate membership is something with us. We don't have, we had always started this club, and we've always intended this club for associate members to be regular members of the club, equal members, fully participated in the club. At our current point, we can't have associate members be the main officers of the club, but I'm still working forward of ways to get around that, and I will be working more on that at the end of the summer after our charter. But it's not meant to get around it. I think we've latched onto something that's very valuable in Rotary, and of course, it takes some time for that learning process at Rotary International go forward. That's kind of the focus of what I want to do for our club after we start this new Rotary year with new officers and everything else. And so that's kind of on that. But we've always, from day one starting this, saying that we're going to have our associate members and our regular members be equal participants in the club. Rotary charters with a charter list. Now, our charter list is locked in right now for the 22 people. They don't add to it after the application's in or anything like that. I'm going to suggest for our club 2 things. Since our official charter date is July 2nd, Rotary doesn't keep track of all this stuff, of who's charter members, all that stuff. Individual clubs do. I think in our history, we keep track of, and I don't, unless somebody tells me an objection otherwise, we keep track of all of our members as either regular charter members or associate charter members. Whoever we have on July 2nd, we list it as that. And if we happen to have somebody new join our club, like Dave Knipe there. In between now and July 2nd, we'll list him as a regular charter member as well in our club history. All makes sense? No concerns by anybody? It's just what we've always intended to do, and so that's great stuff. I wanted to share with you, though, a breakdown of our club as we are right now. It's kind of fascinating and unique because I want to thank everybody that's currently a Rotary member in another club. One of the most difficult, this is the sixth time I've helped start a club. I think I probably spent more time at it in this club, but whatever. The most difficult things that I've had in helping start clubs was actually existing Rotarians. Every one of them had 4 or 5 people, and it was generally outside people like sponsoring club that was difficult to work with. The reason it's difficult is there's a lot of Rotary folklore. Rotary is done 34,000 different ways around the world, and every now and then somebody gets stuck on how to, and they hit you on this club. You can't do that. How to, whatever, and that's been a difficult thing. Our club is unique in terms of helping put that together, and maybe it's because we're so unique in so many ways. You guys that are existing Rotarians or former Rotarians have been absolutely marvelous. I've never felt that one bit from anybody, and that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me share a couple.
Well done, Jerry.
Yeah? I'm sorry?
I said, well done.
There you go. I'm going to share this chart stuff. Y'all see that okay? Can you see the chart?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
We are chartering right now with 47 members. 22 of them, as reported to Rotary International, as regular members, and 27 associates. Okay, we're still clearing up a couple names on the associate list, but nevertheless, we're at roughly 49 members total. And you can see we're slightly more than half of associate members at this point in time. This regular number I expect is going to grow, and going to grow faster than the associate thing. We have 2 or 3 of our current associate members that have confirmed to me that sometime in the next 6 months to a year, they plan to change to regular membership. It just wasn't their thing right now, which is cool. And I expect our new member growth will be largely in the regular area. Of our regular members, of the 22 we've reported to Rotary International, this is kind of fascinating. About, just slightly under a half, 45% of us are currently in other clubs and transferring. I keep looking to the wrong screen. There's the camera. And and then there's a number of us. There's I forget the exact number. I think it's somewhere around 7 that are former Rotarians. So they've moved in different locations and have not continued their memberships for one reason or another, or not found new clubs. And that's cool. And so they've come back into Rotary. And then we have about 5 of us that were not Rotarians before, but most have had some association with Rotary of some sort. So we've got an incredible, you know what? And then if we combine that in with all of our members, both regular and associate, 3/4 of our club is currently in a club somewhere right now. And so we've got a tremendous history of Rotary here, which I think is going to be a great asset. 5 of us are past district governors. That may not be such a great asset. I don't know. Right, John? It depends how huffy we get about being past district governor. I'm just kidding. Okay, let me stop sharing that. So I don't know if there's any questions on that. I just thought that was nice stuff to share. Before we get into club elections, we've gone through the bylaws and club constitution documents. The club constitution documents are mandated by Rotary International. You got to fill in the name, and that's about it. The bylaws we went through a month or 2 ago in terms for our club, we had to do some slight changes. It was primarily name and location stuff. All the stuff that we had in our bylaws regarding members and associate members and being a section of honorary members, they accepted just fine. They thought it was pretty cool. So Now, they don't do a formal approval process, but they had no issues, and that was pretty cool. So I do kind of want to propose a slight change. We had originally had in the bylaws to start out with our initial elections, or initial set of board of directors, that we had one general at-large person, and we had one person that represented the associate members at large. Well, for one, it's not very fair on the associate members thing, is because a large percentage of us are associate members. And we had some, in the voting process, we had two people come out very strong as people that the club asked to be participant or whatever in the voting process. So like, I think we should go forward with two of those. And I think we should, for the benefit of our club, go forward with two general members. Ultimately, the goal is to get rid of the distinction between the two altogether. But so I'm just kind of proposing that we up the number by one for each one of those. Your thoughts, everybody? Any concerns? You okay if we just do it?
Yeah, I don't have any concerns, but I think it's a good way to do it.
Okay. All right, then. I will make the appropriate changes, and then we'll go forward. Once we get ourselves running officially, we're going to be dealing officially how to deal with all this as a regular basis as our bylaws provide, okay? The next thing I had on the agenda was officer elections, okay? And just certifying the elections as they are. Let me see. I've got to share something now. Let me see if I can find it. My apologies. I thought I had this open already. It is the results of our officer elections. And it's coming up, and away we go. Okay, let me share this screen. Is that the right one? All right. And that's not working. Let me move that over here. Move that over here. You see the set. Does everybody see the thing that says upgrade? Is that screen showing through? Oh, you know what? Move that as well.
Yep.
All right. We had 33 responses, just to let you know in terms of the elections. And so that's pretty cool. We had 14 regular members and 20 of the associates. Whether that matters anymore to us after this. Unanimous, no write-ins. Linda Ryan, guess what? We're very thrilled that as of July 1st, you're our charter president.
Yay.
Or July 2nd, sorry. Linda and I have already started talking in the transition because I'm going to be gone for a couple months. My role after this will be to be a club advisor for the next 5 or 6 years, I've promised the Rotary International. And I mean it just as that. Whatever we do as a club, we'll do as a club, and we'll do it under the leadership of Linda for the starter, okay? Then I did agree to be in our immediate past president role as our vice president. And if you remember from our bylaws that we have into the vice president, should there be a vacancy happen at the president, the vice president is the person that'll step in to the president, so we have no continuity of loss of leadership. After this year, whoever our next president will be after Linda will assume this role according to our bylaws. President-elect starting July 1st, 2019, a year from now, is Brian Green. Congratulations, Brian.
Are congratulations really in order? I mean, come on.
Absolutely. Club president is prestigious.
Guys, I cannot tell you how thrilled I am and how smooth this has all gone on. It's not this easy in other clubs that we've helped make start and everything else. So this is really cool. I don't know if Richard's on right now or not, but Richard has been unanimously selected to be our president nominee. And hopefully by that time we have everything worked out with our whole structure, because Richard is currently one of our associate members, and that's pretty cool. Secretary Glenda is our secretary. We started working with her a little bit over this chartering process, and we will work forward with her.
I already warned Linda that I've never been a Rotary secretary, so.
Oh man, you're better qualified then. We don't have to retrain you.
Nope.
Treasurer. Normally I don't like to share things about voting in particular, but I can tell you that Rory voted for Blair and Blair voted for Rory, and I thought that was just kind of cute. But
Right.
Rory's our I do know both of them have great respect for each other and as well. So Rory is our treasurer going forward this next year.
Well done, Rory.
And director at large. Now we've just agreed that we'll have two of them. So Judy and Harold are going to be our director at large this next year. And then the associate board advisor, officially non-voting. Well, we'll take care of that. Is Chris Jones and John Cram will go forward this next year as being our on our board as well. And they'll have full privileges when we go forward. And that's all I've got to say on that one. Okay? Any questions? Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations, us. We have a great club.
Just a word for Brian Green. The only thing in Rotary land that's more prestigious than president of a club is past district governor. Because all you got's a title at that point.
Yeah, I don't know.
John, it's not my first time around, so that's okay.
We have a tremendous amount of wonderful experience in this club. I will tell you that. I'm struggling here trying to figure out what was next on the agenda.
Yeah, Jerry, while you're doing that, this is Tom. I did get that phone call from my veterinarian, and I'm going to have to go over to my vet's office, so I will excuse myself if I may, and thank you for the input and information.
All righty, thank you much.
Good luck with that, Tom.
You can catch up to us on the recording.
I shall, and if you need to, don't forget, I sent you an email with a possibility for August activity here. It's up to you. Okay.
Yep, we'll come back to that one, and thank you.
No problem. Bye.
All right. Next on the agenda was, I think, I'm sorry, proposed meeting daytime change, okay? Where that generated from, when we first started this club, or first started working with this club a year ago, a little over a year ago, we were meeting on Monday nights, and then we did an analysis of the club, and then we at the time as such, we chose to move to Tuesday nights. That was towards like September, I think last year, or October last year. And we said we'd revisit that in January. Well, we didn't get around to revisiting that until this club, or till getting this club ready to charter. So just here in the last month, we've revisited that. We've had 27 inputs from the club. And these results are pretty fascinating. People have put in there, when the first question, what day of the week they were able to meet. And it was, it was different than what it was a year ago when we did this. And it popped out that Wednesday by far is like 23 of the 27 had made that a big choice for themselves. Okay. Meeting time, meeting at 7 p.m. was just slightly more than 7:30. And you can see the responses, but it was again 7 and 7:30 were out there quite a bit more than anything else. Friday we knew was going to be. I'm actually surprised this isn't 100% in terms of people that did not want to meet on Fridays at all. We did have though of concern because it kind of looks like we should switch to Wednesday nights, but we have a concern that there was 3 people that said Wednesday night was not good for them at all. I looked of the 3, and all 3 of those people are currently associate members, and all 3 of them are have not really been online with us at all to speak of. So I don't think that's a problem. Actually, one of the 3 put down every one of these nights as a night he can't be with us. So I don't think that's a problem. All right? Please do note, you can pop up questions. If chosen by the time, this question is a little confusing, unfortunately, but it says if chosen as a time would prohibit you from meeting with the club. I think in general, the message got through as to that basically early in the day is not going to be good for most people. And it looked like meeting at 7 or 7:30 at night was not going to be a problem for most people. There was one concern in here with one of our regular members that does regularly participate was on one of these times. I think it was the 7:30 time. So, and then I think one person put all these times down for one of the responses. So I'm thinking that maybe that the issue was they thought it was on the days that they can't meet, which hours were not. I don't know, but it was meant to be a timing issue. So there is, like I said, the slight confusion. So all that in mind, I think we should move to Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. I'm opening it up for discussion right now, though. Let me stop sharing this.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm good with that.
Yeah,
We're
Wednesday
fine.
night was fine.
We're fine with it. We'll fit it into our schedule, Jerry.
Do we have
Good for me
a,
too.
It does make something difficult with me, but I will fix it. So
don't we have one member that's a West Coast person that's not here this evening?
we have a number of West Coast people. Actually, I think if I remember correctly, and I could be mixing it up, but our now president nominee can't meet on Tuesday nights, and he's better off if we meet at 7:30 instead of 7, but slow steps.
Yeah, because 7:30 for a lot of the West Coast people might be a little bit better, because if it's 5 o'clock and they're, getting away from work, but if nobody's here on the West Coast that's talking about it, then.
Jim, can you unmute for a second, Jim?
Sure.
I might be mistaken, but I think you were one that said 7:30 would be a problem for you. Was that, if we did 7:30 Wednesday nights, is it a problem for you?
Yeah, it's going to run a little late. I go to work at 4 in the morning, so.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know. I think slow changes right now, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I do know that that the person that talked to me, I don't remember, and I could be wrong. It might have been John Henry. There's somebody that talked to me and said it would be better at 7:30 than 7, and it had to do with a coastal change thing. But I think we should try it and see what happens, and then if we have to adjust a little more, we do. That's my thought.
That works for me.
When would you propose starting this?
Well, I would propose that we do it no earlier than July. If you wanted to make it a little later than that, it wouldn't bother me at all either. Because we had to put in time and date for Rotary International. It might be a little smoother for us to make it effective either
Afterwards.
August or September.
Yeah.
Give everybody a chance to work it out and see if we got any real problems that pop up. What do you think?
Makes good sense.
Yep.
I'm okay with whenever it is.
I entertain a proposal that we make a change to Wednesdays at 7 p.m. effective September 1st.
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor with your thumbs up?
Aye.
Thanks, Jim. I think we've got it all. All right. Very cool. And enough of that. Linda turned us on to Survey Monkey a while back, and I tell you what, that's been a really useful thing, I think, for us. Now I'm lost as to how I get back to my other agenda. There it is. Did I stop sharing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, I never pay attention to these chats. Hopefully I'm not missing anything from somebody. There we go. Very cool. All right, what was next on the agenda? Clubs, dues, and budget explanation. Let me share with you something, and it's important from a point of view. And Rory, I'm going to leave it up to you to correct if you think we have any concerns from a treasurer's point of view. Where's my share button? All right. I got to move my stuff around here. Y'all see the Excel spreadsheet okay? How do I move this? If I do this, do you still see the spreadsheet?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. I got 3 screens I'm working with here. I'm getting myself confused. Okay. When we originally set the club up, we had set this up as an estimate to figure out what our due structure should be. We had a meeting about this, and we came down with this suggested number here. I just put in this today the numbers of our active members and our associate members. And mind you, the active members, regardless of how we go forward and treat everybody, the active members cost us more as a club, and it's because of the international and district dues, of which all of our associate members are paying through their regular membership in their other clubs. And so this is a fair balance structure for running our club. The stuff that's highlighted in yellow is reflection of the cost to our club associated with active members. And the stuff that's not highlighted is shared cost for everybody in terms of what our current running is. Our cost, and like I said, I plugged in the 22 and 27 that we have just to make sure that we're not going to get in trouble. Our cost for running the club is about $46 a month to have our website Club Runner account, and $15 a month to have this meeting process available to us. Next year, we will be sending somebody to PETS. Every year, our president-elect is required to have training that's provided by Rotary International. There's PETS training done all over the country, actually both countries. So we should be able to do that, and we budgeted in monies to support the costs that might be associated with that. We may or may not have budgeted enough to cover it all, but at least we'll take the sting out of it for whoever goes to be our president-elect in their training wherever they go.
Hey, Jerry, point of clarification. Will the president-elect be able to attend the PETS closest to them?
Yes, that's always been the case in our district. There is an issue I got to solve with our district, and I'll solve it. The good news for us is that I am district trainer in our district come this next year. So I'm on the forefront of everything associated with that. I'm also tied into all the PETS trainings around the world, and we'll be able to recommend an appropriate one. Well, for Brian coming up as well. Also, we're going to, because of that, also figure out how the district's going to provide for online abilities for stuff like district assembly and other types of training as well. And I will take that as my responsibility, being the trainer in our district. So we're moving forward in a number of different ways, okay? District dues, RI dues, the insurance, the magazine, that's only associated with our costs associated with our active members. Again, those are covered under the associate members' regular membership in their other clubs. The online payment that we do cost us a year $75 and about $10 a month on top of that in terms of cost. If we get ourselves into a clean billing when we're not there yet, we could maybe reduce this down to 4 times a year as opposed to monthly, but it's not that big of a deal. And then we budgeted to have some miscellaneous money on hand because there is going to be miscellaneous costs that come up with things like buying pins and stuff like that for the, which we got to do. And I will try and take care of that when I'm at the international convention for our 5 new Rotarians in this club. So they have all the nice paraphernalia that the rest of us already have. So that sort of stuff. So we have at this time, an operating budget of this much money, and it could grow a little bit. We might find that there's some better software for us that would be better for us. Maybe some stuff we're associated with what we're doing with our recordings, what have you. But we've got a fair budget to work with. The collection of that dues and insurance, this is of the income portion right now. Oh no, this is the breakdown above of this $4,600 or $4,700 broken between the number of members sharing the cost. Okay. So we went through, this is the monthly cost and comes down to quarter. We decided to bill on a quarterly basis of each of our associate and regular members. That's our cost at this point in time. And so we decided to round that up quite a while back and make this our annual cost or our quarterly cost for each of those type of members.
What are you talking about? What are you looking at, Jerry? I'm still seeing the budget.
I'm in the budget and it's under suggested quarter 5250. And this is what we paid.
You need to scroll down.
Scroll down, Gary.
Yeah,
because
I can't scroll it.
Does that help? I'm sorry, I'm on a huge screen. Can you see it now?
You gotta go further.
Further?
move.
Yeah.
You got it there now?
No.
Oh,
It's not moving.
What am I sharing?
we don't know.
We still see what you had up there originally.
It's still showing.
Moved.
Huh. Hasn't moved, huh?
You're down to line
Not a bit.
17.
You know what? I know a way to do it. Just a second. Let me do something real quick.
Don't take a hammer to it.
I'm gonna print it and hold the paper up.
It's almost exactly the case, actually. Wait a minute. New. All right. Let me share something different instead then. Can you see that?
Not yet.
There.
Hey, there we go.
I took a snapshot picture of the screen and now we got it covered then, I think.
All right.
All right, now, but I can't, okay, I got a little annotation. Right here then is what our current costs are. And it's not letting me do that. Really? But you see the 5250 under the suggested quarter?
Yep.
It's down just to the left of where it says total. And 1750 for our associate members per quarter. Okay? And that's the annual collection. Some of our club members are actually paying a year, and I think one of us even paid 2 years in advance. And the cool thing is, bottom line, we've got a buffer that's going to make it really nice for us to be able to work with. I've worked with clubs where they've managed this too tight and gotten themselves in trouble every year. So this is really nice. We had charged everybody as they joined as a regular member the $52.50, $15 chartering fee, which we've already paid.
Right.
And
Yes, the charter.
and since then, we've only been collecting $17.50 because it's only cost us to operate that. And we had told everybody when we did this early on, everything else, that $52.50 when they paid it was going to be for their first quarter of the actual, when we actually chartered and stuff like that.
Right.
So I propose those of us that had already paid ahead over the whatever thing, that we continue to pay this next quarter, the $1,750, because we don't need to collect that money. And then it comes September 1st when we do the following, or October 1st, I guess, for the last quarter of the calendar year, that we go forward then at our point with our $5,250 per quarter. So everybody at $1,750 this next quarter, and then $5,250. Now, Dave, if you decide to join us, the $5,250 is what you'll be charged. Make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Jerry,
Dave,
one
I
question.
kind of went over that fast, Dave, but I'll come back and talk to you about that personally.
One question that I have, Jerry, is when we originally started talking about this, I mentioned that I've always been a part of a foundation, sustaining member club.
Okay.
And so is there a way you can just pull it straight out of, can we just pay extra $25 a quarter and have you guys send it in? We have to send it in. I've never had to do it. So what?
You've never had to send it in yourself? I've always been involved with sending it in myself, and I happen to be a major donor, but I'm open to do anything, whatever the club agrees to do.
Are we talking about donations to the annual fund?
Yeah.
And that's real easy. If you get on My Rotary, there is on practically every page a button that says give. And you can click on it, and you can set that up on your credit card. You can set up any amount, any payment, one time, once a month, once a quarter, whatever. And then it's taken care of automatically.
Well, the nice thing about the sustaining membership is the foundation points go to the club. And then the points can be used however you want to.
They go there anyway.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. TRF counts it and sends it to your club.
For those of you that understand the foundation stuff, now some of our new members won't at all, but the club grows foundation points based on whatever giving individuals give during the time. And if the club chooses to make a gift as well, they can do that as well. And the points grow from that point of view. The individual's points also grow as they give. So, Brian, if you happen to give $200 this year, it'll show up in our club records as well as you.
Okay. I've just never done it before outside of the, framework.
But you know what? We can set it up. I'm reluctant to make it a required thing. Okay, but we can set something up that's individually done with the giving as well.
And if that's the way John says that's the way it happens, I'm happy to do it that way too.
Yeah. I neglected to tell you with the credit carding thing, we lose about 5% when it all comes out nuts and bolts. It's different for different types of cards, but we lose about 5%.
If our club is looking to be a sustaining member club, how is that going to affect? That's only relevant to the regular members, not the associate members.
That's only going to be relevant for the regular members. The associate member giving, that's all documented back for your other regular club. And if RI ever does get to the dual membership thing, that'll be done the same way. It'll still be whatever your primary club is. I think we have a ways to go in terms of Rotary education before we get there. I think that's an important thing that we've got to include over the next year, some more education, particularly for our new members as they come on board. And it doesn't hurt for all of us to relearn. That was something I meant to have earlier on in the agenda tonight too.
Hey, Jerry?
Yeah.
Amanda just sent something on chat. You might want to take a look.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Hey, by the way, folks, if you wanted to send a check, you could bypass all that too. And I didn't really want to deal with that.
Adding in 5% cover.
Amanda suggested we had an option at payment to donate 5% to cover fees. We could figure that out. I think I figured that out before a year ago when we had a bunch of people gave money to support bringing on covering some of the new young members expenses.
And Amanda, if you go in on the My Rotary, you can set any amount you want. So just for argument's sake, let's say you want to put $100 a quarter, just put 105.
I think she was meeting for the club, John. So that
okay.
Yeah, all of our club expenses.
But
Rotary International
yeah,
takes care of it and gives you full credit for whatever. It's just we siphon it through the club. We'll lose 5% before it goes on to Rotary International.
right. It seems like it's just as easy to go ahead and set the banking up and let it automatically do it. And then it's not extra. There's no extra money going to waste.
Yeah. But we'll get somebody to give us a nice presentation on that sometime down the line. But I think the majority of members could use a refresher on what the foundation is and why it's important to us. And because if it's not important to you as an individual, it doesn't help the things. Yeah, John.
I've got one ready to go.
Cool.
Whenever you want it.
Very cool.
And I like to hear myself talk.
Do I smell a foundation chair?
He's the current chair of his district. Isn't that right, John?
I am, and think carefully before you ask me to be the foundation chair.
It's out there.
Happy to do it, but I take it seriously.
I would, as we're in the process of cleaning everything up, we've got some dues that are still outstanding from several people, and we've got, and I've been in now and I've got all this new information and stuff, but I would really appreciate it if everybody would go in now and log in and update the information that's there about you. I think it's pretty important to us that we keep that up to date. And so if anybody has any issues regarding logins, be sure to see me. I can fix that. Okay.
Not logged into Club Runner. Yeah.
Okay. Future club speakers. I will have to tell you, I've been mostly in charge of keeping this oriented. I know Linda's checked in a few times and done some really good things for us as well on that. But I tried to keep us 3 or 4 months ahead for speakers. I've neglected that for these last 2 months. I have been focused solely on our chartering. And so our speaker next week is our buddy Harold there.
Oh.
After that, we've got our happy hour meeting, and I don't have anything scheduled beyond that. Now, for you that are new here, what we set up and what we try to do for our club is we've had 4 meetings a month. And it's optional which or any or all you participate in. The first meeting of the month on the first week of the month has been a presenter, and it's usually been somebody from the outside. The second meeting of the month, we've done our business meeting like we're doing here, and we've usually had very little business, so we were going to start throwing in some of our Rotary education to be done on that meeting as well. The third meeting of the month was a presenter. And that was, we've got a lot of people and we just don't know each other yet. And it's going to be fun to learn from each other. So we've asked everybody to take turns talking about themselves. Amanda did so last week. And we have the fortune of Harold coming up next week. So we'll be looking forward to whoever else might be coming up in July. And so I'm looking for volunteers on that sort of thing. Brian, you've talked to us? You've done already, haven't you, Brian?
I'm not really sure.
I think our new president nominee.
No.
Linda, have you talked to us? I can't hear you, dear.
I think she talked to us a few weeks ago.
I did.
You did, that's right.
Short and sweet.
Brian, would you be kind enough to be our speaker in the third meeting in July?
Sure.
And let's see, let's go down the line. Glenda, you're an officer. Would you be our speaker the third meeting of August?
No, because I'm on vacation.
How about the first meeting of August?
I could probably do that.
Rats. Did you hear that rats comment in front of there?
I can switch with you, Glenda.
But after Amanda, I just feel very insignificant. I've got nothing to say after her.
Because I used up all the words. There's just no words left because I talked so much.
Glenda, did you catch Brian offered to switch with you?
What's your date, Brian?
Just this coming third week in July.
It doesn't matter to me. Whatever works for you.
Well, if you're going to be on vacation, I'm happy to swap with you.
Okay, third week in July.
All right, Brian,
All
your
right.
third week of August. You getting this down, Linda? All right, and between Linda and I, we'll try and come up with some other speakers for the other time. That gets us a couple months ahead, Linda.
Jerry, I do have a lead on speaker for the Red Knights Motorcycling Club.
Oh, that'd be great.
The charter president for the Ontario chapter, and I've spoken to him about it. He's interested in talking about it, but I haven't hammered down a date with him yet. So, if you let me know what's the best date for him.
We have the first. Well, what day is the 1st of July? The first. Our first Tuesday in July.
3rd. July 3rd.
Oh, you know what, guys? I'm going to propose that we are dark on that one because of the festivities that go on between June 30th and July 4th between our two countries. So I think we'll go dark on that one. And let's just shift our meetings to the other four. Typically, we've had the fourth meeting. I forgot to complete this. The fourth meeting has just been our happy hour meeting, which has been a lot of fun. Show up with a drink and we talk whatever shows up. And then when we had fifth meetings of the month, we just didn't have a meeting. So July is one of those 5 Tuesdays in a month. I propose that we'll shift our meetings so that our first is on the 10th, our second's on the 17th, third on the 24th, and 4th of July. The fourth meeting in July will be the 31st. Sound good to everybody?
All right.
Glenda, you've got the 17th. Oh, I'm sorry, the 24th.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, we right now have the 10th of July open for a speaker, and we have the 7th of August open for a speaker. And then Brian's got the 21st of August.
We can check into that when we get back. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey Jerry, I got one from the Road Guardians. I'm gonna try and see if I can contact.
Okay. And if you're looking beyond that, remember it'll be Wednesday nights beyond August. I think we decided 1st of September, right?
Yeah, after we get back from Alaska, maybe.
Yeah. That's a good point to address that. I'm scrambling a little bit, guys. Now I'm going to might be difficult to get a hold of. I will try to keep up. But on the 22nd, I leave for the International Convention, and I come back late at night on the 27th of this month from Toronto. And at nights, I will be on the computer to see what's up. So if anybody needs anything, that's cool. I do not know if I'll be able to be on for our meeting there in, let's see, what is that? On the 24th. I don't know if I'll be able to make it or not, but I will try to be online for that. And then on the 30th of, no, it's not July, I'm sorry, June 26th, I meant. On the 30th, Rory, Judy, and my wife Debbie and I are taking off, Debbie and I are taking off on the 30th, going to Rory and Judy's house. And on the 1st, we are gone for the next 6 weeks. I guess Debbie has to fly back after 2 weeks, but after that, Rory and Judy have to tolerate me for 6 weeks. So
Well, that's supposedly if we have a motorcycle then by.
Our motorcycle is not here, Jerry. Our motorcycle is in the shop.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm flexible.
What happened?
It's making a noise.
I thought it was a new one.
It is. That's why it's so scary.
Well, I'm flexible, guys. So we'll make things work. But I just wanted to make the point for that. I will try and be involved. I know Rory and Judy will try and be involved if we have service available to at the time. And if we don't, we don't. We won't know. We're going to be flexible. So we're leaving you in good hands with both Linda and Brian. And in between now and the 22nd, I'll be on the phone more than once, I'm sure, with Linda as we do this transition cleanly. We were already on the phone, what, 2 times already this week, Linda?
It's only Tuesday.
Linda's rather modest. She's got quite a background herself in terms of Rotary. So we've got a number of winners in this club, I'll tell you.
Indeed.
Future speakers, we've taken care of that for a little bit. And I'm so looking forward. I hear such little quips from other people, Harold, about you. So I'm looking forward for all those stories next week. Man. It'll be fun.
I'm going to wrap it up in about 15 minutes. You'll see.
Wait till the question and answer part.
Then I will conveniently drop offline. Yeah, I'll try to keep everyone awake.
I was, I'm going to switch off. I was hoping to have an update on this international project. Linda made the proposal and we had further discussion about it while I was gone here 2 months ago, I think it was, at one of the meetings associated with this project of doing this thing with the nurse that's running the Guatemala clinic in the Mayan villages in Guatemala. The truck isn't nearly as bad, and I was supposed to have an update today, but it's looking like the costs are going to be something less than $3,000 to put that into service for that guy. So we had, the last I looked from people sending stuff to me, we had commitments already for $2,500, so without officially launching it. I hope I have more information before the end of the week, and we'll let you know on that. And that'll be kind of cool. The other thing, John's district or club, John's club that he's officially in, I saw him post something on the Facebook today about this bicycle thing he's got going. And it's, as I understand it, there's used bicycles donated, and your club collects all them and they're giving to a group, and I forget the name of it. And
they are used serviceable bikes or easily repaired, like a flat tire. And the name of the organization it goes to is called Pedals for Progress.
Is Pedals for Progress a national organization?
I think it is, and we work with one, I think, that works on the East Coast. They come here and collect them. The Rotarians bring the bikes into a central location, which they're doing tomorrow. They also take sewing machines. And what they'll do is they'll send the bicycles to third world countries so that people who were formerly walking here and there, like to work or wherever, can now ride a bicycle, making their life a little easier. The sewing machine, I think, is the same thing. Give it to someone so they can earn a living. Last year, I think we collected 60-some bikes. I'm not sure. Amanda just posted the website, www.p4p. Is that a .org? I didn't see. It's a wonderful program. We do it once a year, and it's kind of tough on this crowd because we don't have a central location.
Well, it might be something that we'll see, but I just thought maybe it might be something we could individually do together collectively, and each one of us come up with a dozen bikes or something like that, and between the 50 of us end up having about 500-600, is provided we have local connection to get them to through this Pedals for Progress thing. So I don't know. I thought it was just interesting. I'm not proposing we do anything. I just thought it was interesting. I thought, wow, there's a kind of a possible way we might be able to do something as a club as spread out as we are. I don't know what you guys think about that.
The worst that's going to happen is that it doesn't work.
But there's other organizations that'll take them too. We've got the Forgotten Children's Fund here in Washington that'll do the same thing, but maybe you can get them to come and speak at one of the meetings, John.
I will ask tomorrow.
it doesn't have to be that we give just to this organization. We have 2 or 3 different organizations, depending on what's convenient for us individually around the country. It's the 2 countries. That might be kind of cool. You know, I've got to get better about this group chat thing. I'm behind. And I'm getting poked at. That's fun.
Jerry, maybe we could do something where the associate members' home clubs are actually the sponsor, and we could co-sponsor the pickups.
Good idea. Whatever. It might be an interesting thing, though. We don't have to do anything now, and we certainly shouldn't. By the way, you know, we've been slowly growing and figuring out who we are as a club. That process is going to take us another year or 2, and we shouldn't be worried about that, I don't think. So.
I do like the idea of, you know, we're on 2 wheels and we're supporting a 2-wheeled sort of organizations. I like that concept.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool concept.
It's doable. We just have to figure out how.
And it looks to me like it'd be an interesting learning experience as we go forward and maybe ultimately come up with some other big thing on our own.
I mean, you guys have named 2 organizations. I know at least 2 other organizations that are doing the exact same thing. So, you know, getting them all together would, but yeah, down the road.
Yep. Something to think about. I just saw it today and I thought, man, that'd be nice to share.
Hey, Jerry, before we dismiss, I'd like to hear Dave Knipe's impressions of us.
I'm getting long-winded. I just, I think I covered everything we wanted to cover.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Linda, you and I chatted. Did we miss anything else that we wanted to cover tonight? We got it pretty covered. All right. Dave, you came to a rough meeting. We tell people when they're working with Rotary, and you never bring them to a Rotary meeting for their first experience of the club. You want them to have something either fellowship or project-wise to experience first. And then when you bring them to the club, you want them to come to one of the presenter meetings, not to one of these business type things.
Well,
what do you think?
I think it's great. I think, you know what, you're a great group of people, and I met you all in Virginia. That's what impressed me. It impressed me what you guys are doing right now online. As I say, it's a great group of people, great organization. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but I don't want to leave you behind. If you want to join us.
Well, I do. So I'll send you an email or whatever else I have to do, type of thing. But yeah, no, I'm very interested in it. This is, as I say, it's an amazing idea. I like it. It's cool.
Would you?
And I have a motorcycle.
That's not a requirement.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured that. Well, yeah.
Send me that email. You got my email address. I take it.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, and just send me your the contact information, your address, sure. Phone number, that sort of stuff. And sure. And I'll go ahead and get you connected up with us.
Sure, that sounds like a plan to me. As I say, it was a great meeting. I really enjoyed it. I know it was business and not as much of the other part of it, but yeah, and business has to happen too, right? So that's good.
And your new Rotary name is number 23.
Number 20. Okay, I'll keep note of that.
Totally kidding.
And welcome to Rotary.
There's a 22-way tie. There's a 22-way tie for number 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for yakking so much, people.
Just one thing, Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to let you know we're sharing our wedding anniversary with you. About this time, 42 years ago, we were dancing on the floor.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations. That's awesome. What a great share. Anybody else?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Keith, I'll give you a call right after. Let's see, what else? Is there anything I got to get caught up over here? God, Amanda, how do you do it?
I want to know what she's eating.
All right, I got one more thing to share. I can figure out how to do it again. Oh, you know what? I got to move this before it bites me and share it this way. for everybody that's current Rotarians, this is no surprise. But for those that are new to Rotary, Rotary runs on a four-way test. A four-way test of things we think say or do. And our dear buddy member Terry Moore has developed a five-way test specific for our club, and I'm really thanking him for these PowerPoints that he's done for us. So the five-way test of the things we think say or do. First, now it's biting me. How about that? First, really? There we go. Is it up there now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And fifth, ride safe, everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you, Terry.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Terry.
Good job, Terry.
All right, we're good. Hey, rather than call, Keith, you want to stay on the line? I'll chat with you.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good week.
Nice to see you.
Good night, everybody.
Nice to
Adios.
see everybody.
Good night.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
See you
Nice
later.
meeting everybody.
Nice
Night.
meeting you.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Hey, Rory, I'll give you guys a call in a little bit, too. Oh, they're gone. I got to figure out what they're doing with their motorcycle. That's bothering. So I'm going to pop up, Keith. Oh, let me stop sharing here. I'm still doing that, aren't I? Am I still sharing, Keith?
No,
Oh, okay.
Right now, I just see you and me.
All right, good. I wanted to open a map here real quick. See roughly where you're at. You said you're going to come up US 23.
I think so. I mean, I have to. All of my paperwork and the maps are out in the camper. I mean, out in the truck.
Yeah,
But
I don't.
I think that's what they have us doing.
Where? Let's see. Let me see where you're at real quickly. What did you say it was?
We're at
Down at Toledo.
Stony Ridge.
Stony Ridge, KOA.
Yeah, it's a Stony Ridge KOA. It's right where the 280 and 420 meet the turnpike. We're just south of the turnpike on 420, or off of 420.
Oh, I got it. Wait a minute, 420.
Yeah, 420. When you get off the turnpike, if you go north, you're on 280, I-280. And if you go south, you're
right near 280 and 80, aren't you?
Yes.
Just maybe half a mile away from there. I
Correct.
see it. It's called Toledo East Stony Ridge. Okay, where are you heading tomorrow?
That's it. Pardon me?
Where are you heading tomorrow?
To Ludington.
Oh, it's about a 4-hour drive. 294 miles?
Correct.
Take you a little longer than that, actually. Yeah, it says to go up US 23 past Ann Arbor. And then it says to turn at 96 up by Brighton, US 96.
I think that's right. And then we're going to take 96 to 69. Or I don't. I have to go out and look at it.
Yeah, you take 96 across country. You pick up. Actually, you'll stay on 96 all the way across to Grand Haven, Grand Rapids.
Right.
Then you go up 21 past Muskegon. Muskegon is where
Correct.
Rory and Judy live.
That's right. They're up in the North Shore there.
Yeah, Norton Shores is where they are.
Right.
And I want to reiterate, there's no reason you have to meet with me. I'd love to just meet you in person.
No, I'd love to, but I just don't know where, I don't know
Well, I'll
the
tell you
area
what.
well enough.
Let me look. Brighton. What do you guys normally do for breakfast?
Normally, we just make breakfast and then eat on the road.
That's a good point. Well, tell you what, I'd buy you breakfast. How about there's a Kirby's Coney Island. It's not that far off the road for you, I don't think.
Okay. Now remember, I've got a dually diesel truck and I'm pulling a 43-foot fifth wheel. So I've got limited in where, access and.
You know what? Let me look a little bit differently then. Let me look a little bit differently. Do, 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 do. So I'm looking for clean places with big parking lots. How's that sound?
Right.
I can certainly meet you and then pick you up and, parking rides aren't good for you because it's not big enough.
Well, and some of the parking rides I can get into, but there's a lot of them that say no trucks or trailers.
Yeah.
Normally when we stop like at a truck stop.
Yeah. Well, I'm just sitting here thinking if I can find an appropriate rest area, you can pull in those pretty easy. And then I can meet you there, pick you up, and we go somewhere real quick too with my car.
All right.
But I got to find the rest area. So let me back this out.
Well, but the problem with that, Jerry, is that I also have a dog.
Oh.
And I wouldn't want to leave the dog in the truck by himself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
This may be more difficult than I thought.
I was going to say, I'd love to see and meet you, but I just don't know logistics-wise how well it will work.
Okay. How long are you going to be up in Ludington?
We're going to be there through the weekend. Sunday we leave and head across state to Port Huron.
What are you doing in Port Huron?
That's where Carol was born and raised. So she's going. Her sister still lives over there. Now Thursday we're going down to Grand Rapids to her brother's.
Ah.
And then we'll just have the truck.
Yeah, that's pretty close to where Rory and Judy are.
Yeah, I'll be going right by them.
You might want to give them a call. You got the access to them.
Right.
If you want. Crap. There's a Cracker Barrel, but I don't know how getting into there's. Sometimes that's dicey too.
Usually Cracker Barrels, depending upon the Cracker Barrel, but most of them have RV parking.
Yeah, that one's for some reason that's not an easy on, easy off area for the. Oh, wait a minute. Come on, and he gets back on right there at Grand River Avenue. Goes up north, comes across Conference Center Drive. Cracker Barrel Old Country Store. We turn on, there's a lot of parking lot around there. That's probably doable now that I look at it.
Okay.
Do you need an address?
Yes.
I got to write this down too. The address is, let's see, it's called 7925 Conference Center Drive.
7925?
Yeah. You know what? Hang on just a second. Let me make sure I'm not missing another possibility here. Yeah, Conference Center Drive, Brighton, Michigan.
Brighton, okay.
And what you're going to do is you'd end up coming up 23 to 94, just past Brighton. As you hit the Brighton exits, you get off on 94. I'm sorry, 96. Sorry, Interstate 96.
Okay.
It's your normal route that you'd be going.
Okay.
And the second exit on there is the Grand River exit, and you get off Grand River and go a little bit north until you get that Conference Center Drive. That might be easy.
Do you show you how far it is?
But I'm going to do that right now and just put that in there now. That was, let's make sure that that's a good idea. Cracker Barrel, Brighton. Well, that's an hour and a half.
Okay.
For
me, it's an hour and a half. How about for you?
Oh, okay. Just a second. For me, it would be. Come on. $36 minutes.
So if I plan on getting out of here about 8, if we plan to meet someplace between 9:30 and 10, is that?
Oh, that's absolutely doable.
Okay, good.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Because from there, you'd probably have still about 3 hours of driving yet to do after that.
That's fine.
Okay. I look forward to it. Let's make that happen.
I do.
Let me just make sure I didn't make it. There's whether or not there's an easier on or off before there, but it's probably the right thing to do. Yeah, Coney Island would be good, but it might not be easy to find parking there at that time of day.
Especially with that big rig.
That's as good a place as any.
Okay. Now, just
done deal. What time do you want to do it?
Give me your phone number.
248. 820-9804.
All right, good.
And we want to target, you said you're going to leave about 8-ish?
I'm going to leave here about 8, so I'm thinking there'd be there about 9, between 9:30 and 10.
Very good. We'll make it happen.
I look forward to it.
Awesome.
All right.
I might be in sweats coming from the gym, but you.
That's all right. That's all right. Just get a good chance to meet.
All right. Let me make sure I got this, and I got to make sure I got your phone number here again. I wrote it down, and now I can't find that note. Would you be so kind?
Okay. It's 757-377-1599.
1599.
Great.
Awesome. I'm going to be in a dark colored Jeep Grand Cherokee.
All right. I've got the, like you say, you won't miss my big rig.
Unless it's raining. Then if it's not, I mean, unless it's a real nice day, but I think it's supposed to be a little rainy.
It's supposed to be, yeah, it is.
All right.
All right.
You take care.
See you tomorrow morning.
Bye now.
Good night.